We're back in the shed again. As you can see, I've got some boards on the go, but there is an upcoming video for those. I thought I'd quickly get a little small video together that I can throw up, get out for you guys potentially today, just so you guys can see something. So I've downloaded these templates. Now it is coming up closer to Christmas now. We're allowed to say that word in my house, Christmas. We're not allowed to say it for most of the year. But as it's getting closer, I thought I'd give a little try at some little Christmas trinkets. I've got a Christmas fair coming up, which is what the boards are for as well. But I thought I'd give a try at something else. So I've printed these off. These are free from the Woodworkers Guild of America, if you want to go on there and have a look. I'm not associated with them or anything, but they have a lot of really good plans and stuff on there, and I know a lot of YouTubers recommend them, and I can see why. Basically with these templates, what I've done with these ones, I've actually shrunk these down from the original size. So the original size are these. So as you can see, I've shrunk them down, and then I've shrunk them down again. So that's the idea for me, is I want to see if I can make 3 different sizes. This is what they turn out like. They're really cool. You can do them with your bandsaw. And the reason I wanted to size them down is I wanted to see if I could do it maybe with a scroll saw or something else. I'm going to do all mine on the bandsaw, but not everyone's got a bandsaw, and not everyone's got big bandsaws. I mean, mine's only a bench top one, so it can only fit a certain size anyway. So this is with a 4x2, which only just squeezes through my bandsaw on the 4-inch side. 2-inch side is not an issue. If I can shrink them down, then that will give a load more options for tools which you can use to make them. So that's the next step now, is I'm going to cut these out, I'm going to stick them on a bit of wood, same as I've done with these, and move on from there. See where we go. I do have a lot of offcuts and scrap pieces of wood. Some of it is scrap, but I keep it for purposes like this. No, I only do it this way just for the straight edges, just so we can get as straight as cut as possible. You can cut them all out by hand with scissors, or you could do the whole thing with a craft knife if you've got one that's decent. I've only got my standing knife down here. Well, it's not a standing knife, it's a little folding knife down here, so that's what I'm using. And so it's only for the straight edges I use it for. Just quickens things up a bit. Now I have no idea whether this idea of shrinking them down, and all I've done is I've gone onto the printer settings and just shrunk the image by 25% each time, just to see if that works. And it is just a trial. If it doesn't work, I'm not going to be annoyed with it. It's what it is. But if it does work, then I'll be quite chuffed, because I think having a nice little set of 3 like that is quite a neat little thing. If I start pulling some strange faces while I'm doing this, it's my concentration faces. I know I make them, it's right, we'll do it. So if I sit there with that tongue hanging out of my mouth like, I don't do that one. I just pull daft faces. Now this smallest one turns out like I hope it will. I think it'll be really sweet. I think it could be a good seller. Not that they're tall, not that they're massive, because they're only dinky as well. I am going to make a few of all sizes, especially if these work out. I will make a few of all sizes. I'm going to leave some completely plain, and then I'm going to stain some in different ones, and I'm only going to use what stains I've got. I'm not going to buy anything particular for these. It's going to be what it is. Right, let me get back to you once these are done, and I've got them down. Right, that's those stuck on there. I've now got you set up there so I can run it through the bandsaw and you can potentially see what's going on. So let's start with a medium size one first. Let's crack on. So there's the main body of the middle one done. The one reason I like to do these with this, because it gives you a little bit of an insight on how it's going to be to cut the material out. Obviously with these size templates, you could always cut these on the scroll saw if you've got it. I do have one, I've just not got it set up anywhere at the moment, and there's not really the space to set it up in a minute. So I've chosen to do it here, but like I say, it gives you a bit of an insight into what you need to do and how many cuts and whether it's even possible. Ideally, I would have a smaller TPI blade on this, but I don't have any other ones at the moment, so this is the only one I'm using. I will have to look going down the line if I do any more of these to invest into a different blade, but for now it's working. You just have to make some more challenging cuts. Both of those ones done. They do need a little tidy up with a bit of sandpaper, but that's not the end of the one. That's alright. Now the challenging one is definitely going to be this small one, especially with this size blade that I've got in here. But let's get it done. Not the prettiest, a little bit of tidy up needed, but they actually did come out. So that's good. I'm happy with that. Let's get you back on your shelf over here. Right, we're back here on the bench now. So the idea was, like I say, to try and get it so you can use either the same sort of size bandsaw I've got, a scroll saw, or even maybe a jigsaw you'd be able to do it with. But try and make them a bit smaller just to see if you can open a range of tools up. Now I've got a bit of 3x2. And it actually does fit on it really well. I wanted to see if I could fit this on a bit of 2x2. I don't actually have any 2x2 left over, apart from a dodgy little bit of scraps. Obviously I'm not going to make one out of that, but at least it shows you that you could make it out of a 2x2. That only goes on the side there, so that would be alright, but it's not deep enough. So 3x2 for this one, 4x2, and you could go 2x2. If not, it's definitely going to be possible to get the little tiny one out of a 3x2, and you may be able to, no, not quite, not out this length of block anyway. If you had something that was slightly longer, you could potentially get 2 of these out of one length. It just depends on what sort of offcuts or other bits of wood and stuff that you're playing around with. Now I do have quite a few bits of 3x2, I have some bits of 4x2. I'm going to have a dig around and see if I do have any 2x2. I really don't think I do. And let's get making some. Now most of this 3x2 is here from when I done the workshop, when I built this workshop. So I have plenty of it, like I say. I'm trying to find the flattest bit. A little tip as well is to try and find something that's got a nice flat edge. If it hasn't, run it through, get a flat edge. So let's have a go at this. Now if you do go over and have a watch on the Woodworkers Guild of America, they actually have a video of one of their guys making one of these, or someone making one of these anyway. And clearly they've got the right bandsaw for the job, or the right blade for the job, because the guy just whips it out, and it's brilliant to watch. It's really good to watch actually. Very therapeutic in some ways. So let's see how that turns out. Let me get you back up here. Don't throw away these parts. You need them because once you cut that side off, we've got to tape them back together again to then go through that side. So don't throw anything away at the moment. That's it roughed up, and it is only rough because I will put it on the sander and get it cleaned up, so I'm only roughing them at the moment. Then we need a bit of masking tape, or whatever tape you got. I like to use that sort of masking tape because then it keeps the outline, you can see, keeps the outline there, still keeps it visible. So let's readjust. very, very rough at the moment. It still needs a good sanding, but that's what it's turned out like. I'm not going to move you again. I'm going to crack on with the smaller one. I'm going to do that on another bit of 3/2, so just bear with me. Right, this is a smaller one now, all templated up on the block. Get cracking. And there's a little tiny dinky one. Now again, it is only just rough. Does need some sanding, tidying up. I'll put it next to the others and you'll see. Now that is all 3 of them together. We have the one on the left, which is made out of the 4x2, and the one in the middle and the one on the right are from the 3x2. So as you can see from the one on the left, it has had some sanding done to it, so it's nicer presented, smoother. That's more what the other two will look like once they're a bit more done. So I'm going to go ahead and batch out a load more of these because they're really simple to do. Really neat little project. And I am going to stain some, like I said to you. And what I'll do at the end of it, I'll put some pictures up to show you what they look like. It's a fun little project, easy little project for the weekend. If you've got anything coming up for Christmas, it's a nice little simple project. Even if it's something you want to do with your kiddies, give it a go. Anyway, for now, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to put some pictures at the end, and I'll catch you next time. See you soon.